This story comes from the AITA subreddit and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Rejecting the Worst Name Ever for Our Offspring? So my husband, 38 male, and I, 36 female, are expecting our first child, a bouncing baby girl in a few months. We were over the moon when we found out the gender, but now things have gotten complicated, to say the least. See, when we first started talking about names, the boy name was immediately decided, Stuart Jr., after my husband. No problem there, it's a classic name and carries family meaning. But for a girl, things got murky. My husband suggested Stuarta. Stuarta. If there's anybody named Stuarta in chat, I'm sorry. No, you're not having a stroke. Apparently, his logic is that since Stuart ends with a T, we can just add an A to make it feminine. I tried explaining why that doesn't quite work, how it sounds more like a furniture brand than a human name, how she'd be endlessly correcting people and explaining its origin. He's adamant, though, says it honors him while giving our daughter a unique name. I've suggested alternatives, feminine names that maybe share a similar sound or meaning to Stuart, names he's mentioned liking in the past, even just going back to the drawing board entirely, but he's fixated on Stuarta. Stuarta? 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 I don't even know how to pronounce it. Now, I love my husband dearly, and I understand wanting to honor family, but I can't imagine subjecting our daughter to a lifetime of awkward stares and endless questions about her unusual name. I also worry about potential bullying and the impact it could have on her self-esteem. So, Reddit, am I the jerk for refusing to budge on Stuarta or Stuarta? Is there any compromise I haven't considered? Help a soon-to-be mama out. Looking forward to your thoughts and hopefully some sanity checks. Edit, please no suggestions for other names. The man clearly has a theme, and I need to gently steer him away from it, not fuel the fire. Well, I'm glad she mentioned that because I was about to just really focus us up on that and be like, let's develop a list. Is there any way to make Stuart feminine girl name? Now, I have a cousin named Marky, and her dad's name is Mark. And while that in theory may sound weird, it really works really well for her. But that's also a name that you can look at and immediately know how to say it, right? Stuarta or Stuarta is different. I mean, there's two options there, but it seems like more of a stretch. Gosh, I don't know if your partner was dead set on a name that you were strongly opposed to, but a name is a 2-yes system, right? Naming your child is a 2-yes voting system. If there's one no, it doesn't happen, right? Right? It's Stuart. Does that make it pronounced differently? Stuart instead of Stuart? I think it's a 2-vote system here. I think if you're a true partnership and you're not getting just railroaded on every single freaking decision, then it's a 2-yes vote system. And this is a pretty simple, I understand you're really attached to this. However, my vote is a no. So it's a no-go. If it's not 2 yeses, it's not happening. Now, he's going to sabotage that system by voting no on every single alternative that you offer. But then what? Either you stick to your guns and say, okay, we're going to play this game all the way up until the point where this child is born and sitting there as baby Geller and not have a name. Mom, though, I think you're already looking out for your kid. You're already protecting your child here. So I would expect full mama bear mode to kick in and you stick to your guns till the bitter end, until he caves and gives up on Stuarta or Stuarta. It just can't. It just can't. Or suggest some kind of affiliation compromise that's applicable to your time. Like find somebody who has somebody famous with the name Stuart right now, and you can name them their other name. I'm thinking like Kristen Stewart, right? So you could say Kristen. It's a nod to Stuart. But having to play that game at all is ridiculous. Why does her name need to honor you? Isn't she going to have your last name, Dad? That is the piece that honors you, right? But why does she have to honor you with her existence, period? Stuella DeVille. Stulissa. Say, if you use Stuarta now, you won't be able to use Stuart when we have a boy someday. Brilliant. At least I like it. Okay, there's the move. There's the play. If you want to use Stuart Jr., then you can't also use Stuarta. So you'd be taking that name off the board if we ever have a boy. Do you really want to do that, Dad? I know how much you want a Stuart Jr. There it is. So the question, am I the astronaut for rejecting the worst name ever for our offspring? Hell no. No, I think you as a parent have every right to reject whatever the name you want to reject. It is a 2-yes system. It's stupid. But you're going to have to do this in a way that makes the choice his and doesn't disrespect his name right now, right? Each develop a list and see what's on both of the lists. But I do think in this particular case, because he's so attached to this, the only way to get him to move off of it is to shed light on the fact that if they ever have a boy, Stuart won't be an option then. That's the way to do it.